Welcome to episode 6 of the Learn to Wrap series, and today we're wrapping the door. The door is taped off and ready to go. I'm not going to go over cleaning all the edges here and all the way around because I've covered how to do that in previous videos. The one thing I will mention that's different is I haven't removed this trim here. As you can see, it's still here because this is an old car. It's very brittle. The likelihood of me breaking those clips or bending the trim because the plastic's all dried out and brittle is very high. So I don't want to risk damaging it, so I'm just going to leave it. But on your car, if it's easy to remove, if it's a newer car, I highly suggest that you do remove that trim because it makes the install so much easier. You don't have to worry about tugging under that really tight seal, and you have like better coverage. You're wrapping more of the panel. This is where it all starts to come together. In the last video, we did the quarter panel and we cut this piece out for the doors. So now we're going to unroll it again and cut out each individual door. It's going to hold it with a magnet for now, because this is a very large piece and we don't need a piece this big. Not even close. So let's just unroll this. Okay. So I like to focus on like cutting out the back door because it has this bend and want to make sure that's all good. Whereas the front door is just a straight line, so you can kind of manipulate it, and if stuff's in the wrong spot, you can kind of stretch it. But if you've cut this wrong, then there's no hope. So I'd really want to get the back door right first. So first thing is get this aligned properly, and then everything else will start to make more sense. It's very important to have at least 3 inches of excess material at every edge, because without this excess, there's no space to grab the vinyl. If you recall, in the last video when we cut out the quarter panel, the material was 15 inches past the front of the door to account for excess around the rear door, the quarter panel, and the front door. Now, I know these numbers get confusing, but watch how it plays out here. We'll start with getting 3 inches of excess past the rear door, and everything will fall into place. Then we cut out 3 inches of excess on the other side of the rear door. I typically do this by finding the edge of the front door, using 2 fingers as a spacer, then cutting with a snitty. Once it's cut, roll up the vinyl and place it in the car for later. You might think, wow, Lucas, you messed up a lot. Like, it's so short, but it's not, because we're like 6 inches past on that end. So we have plenty of vinyl here. So if I just scooch it back, look at that. Plenty of coverage. Like, we have so much extra vinyl, but having too much is better than having too little. Because we're only wrapping the silver part, it's not a full door, I just need a very narrow piece. And I thought, to save vinyl, I can cut out, if I raise this up, I can cut one across here, and that piece I can then move to use as the fender piece. We're just saving some vinyl, trying to be economical with it. So I'm going to do that now. On your car, you're most likely not going to be able to do this just because you're doing a full door and there's just not that much vinyl to do that. So let's cut this out. Okay, we're good to go. We're ready to start wrapping this. If your door is a full-size door, it doesn't matter if it's like a 5-foot door, a 6-foot door, whatever, or just a small coupe door, like a half one, or even something really small like this. It doesn't matter. The technique is the exact same. You're going to unroll it, and we're going to work on glassing it out. That's the technique we're going to use. And then you just start squeegeeing it. So we'll lift this up. Tack it down just to hold it in place. Unroll our vinyl. Get to the edge like that. There you go. Tack it there. Grab it. And we're just going to go smooth, smooth, smooth. Now we have to pick it up because we hit our magnet. Grab it again. And just unroll. One shot. Boom. Now to glass it out, we're going to put one magnet down there. It's good to have 2 magnets. Otherwise, it can move on you. You're just going to pick it up. Hands nice and wide, pick up the whole thing, pull your hands apart like I am right now, and then pull towards you really hard. Okay, like that. That's not a bad start. You can see our wrinkles are running this way, which is good. So then, if you really want, we can put the magnets over here, hold this part down. But you don't even really need to pick this all up because it's getting glassed out very nicely actually with these lines. You could just pick it up partially up to the wrinkle like that. If you pull, see how you can make the wrinkles disappear? But we'll do the whole thing. Go to there, we'll pull, separate our hands and pull across like that. Now you're looking for the wrinkles to be running like this, which they are. That's perfect. Then you can just pick this, pull it like that. That's good. And then down here, same thing. Just pick this up. You know, may have to pop that a little, but pull this down. And there you go. These, I wouldn't call them wrinkles. It's just trapped air, and that'll squeegee out no problem. So now we can get started doing that. The squeegeeing technique is the same for every single panel. Start in the middle of the panel and work your way out using overlapping strokes. I like to start in the middle and work upwards first because I get paranoid of dirt or dust falling behind the vinyl from up top. If I can squeegee the top down first, it limits that possibility. Don't worry about squeegeeing the door handle area, we're just focusing on the main section first. Once all the vinyl is squeegeed, it's time to trim. For the main door gaps, I used our technique from the hood and rested my blade on the adjacent panel before cutting. This creates a nice straight cut and leaves just enough, not too much, to wrap around the edge. Then, around the window and door trim, I used our technique from the quarter panel, where you cut on the trim, but we protected it with tape, then tuck in the remaining vinyl. Just a side note, you don't want to try to tuck in like an inch of vinyl. Tuck as little as possible to get full coverage and you'll have a really clean finish. Finally, for the door cup, heat the vinyl and slowly lay it into place, making sure not to wrinkle the vinyl. This door cup was especially deep, so if yours is similar, it's very important to go back and post heat just to ensure the vinyl doesn't lift. And that's it. Compared to the last video, wrapping the door is so much easier than the quarter panel. Just remember, don't lock yourself out of the car when you're wrapping the door. Guys, we're in the home stretch now. We're over halfway done. We're almost there. So I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.